You're listening to the Vibrant Vision Podcast, a podcast designed to help you get clarity, increase your confidence, and cultivate the most important connections so you can have the impact you were created to make. I'm your host, Amanda Kerrigan. Now let's get to making that vibrant vision a reality. Hi there, welcome to episode 13 of the Vibrant Vision Podcast. And today we're talking about another confidence killer. We've been really diving into this theme of confidence killers. And so far we've talked about what do other people think of me? The fact that we always feel too busy and how that kills our confidence. And then not thinking we are courageous people, not owning our own courage. And today we're talking about one of the most pervasive thought patterns that I see with my entrepreneurial clients. And that is this thought of that's not how they're doing it. And I have to follow the same path if I want to get the same results, which is not necessarily true. When I was little, I liked to go into my mom's closet and put on her heels that she wore to church. And I'd be walking around in these heels, and more often than not, I would kind of fall over, or they'd fall off, or I would be like scuffing my feet on the floor because I couldn't keep them on. And it was awkward, and it was definitely not something that I could wear for a long period of time, nor could I run any races in these shoes. And what happens is we want to walk in someone else's church heels instead of being comfortable in our own sneakers or ballet flats or, if you're my friend, our cowboy boots. And we get caught up in this idea of if we don't do exactly what other people are doing to accomplish their goals, if we aren't doing that to accomplish our goals, then we're never going to be successful. And here's my encouragement. We are given our own race to run. My race is not the same race as your race. Your race is not the same race as her race or his race. And we get so caught up in how is this other person doing this? How are they going to accomplish their goals that we lose sight of our own goals. So we're sitting there thinking, well, how is she launching her business? How is she writing her book? So we get caught up in how is she launching her business? What book is she writing? And how does that relate to my book? What is her speaking platform? How is she growing her ministry? And we get caught in social media envy. I wish I had photos like that. I wish I had a video like that. I wish I had a podcast like that. Believe me, I've gotten caught in the compare snare before, and it's easy to get caught in the compare snare. It's so easy. I'm a musician, and often I have to remind myself when I'm watching somebody perform that I cannot compare my practice time to their performance time. And that's often what happens is we compare our off stage to someone else's on stage. And it's a problem because they're not showing you their messy off stage. They're not showing you like the awkward missed note or the failed painting or that sentence that they deleted because they didn't like it. They're just showing you the finished product. And that's all we get to see. And so we can't afford to get caught in the compare snare if we are ever going to live out our God-given purpose, because your purpose is different from theirs. So in this podcast episode, I want to unpack for you and with you what you need to know so that you can achieve your vibrant vision with authenticity in a way that fits you without getting caught in this compare snare, because it's so hard to live someone else's life because you weren't called to live someone else's life. Oprah always says it, live your best life, So let's unpack this. So first, there are very few wrong ways to achieve your vibrant vision. When I was little, I lived by the tagline, there's no wrong way to eat a Reese's. They were my favorite. I loved me a Reese's cup. Actually, I thought they were called Reese cups because my papa's name was Reese, and he always gave them to me. So I thought there were no wrong ways to eat a Reese cup. And now that I'm a big kid, I live by the tagline, there's no wrong way to build my business. And that's not necessarily true, but a lot of times, especially if you're in the coaching space or in the entrepreneurial space, um, there are all these people who say, if you don't build your business the way that I tell you to build your business, you're not going to be successful. And I've bought several marketing programs that promise to be the silver bullet for my coaching business. Clients begging me to work with me, big platforms, and 6 figures in 6 minutes. I'm just kidding. But not so much, because there are all these big promises, but what they had in common is that none of them fit me and my business and my personality and my clients and my authentic self. And so when I followed these marketing programs, because I was raised to follow instructions, you put in the work, you get the A. And when I followed this, I felt, because basically I was doing something that didn't fit me. So all I'm saying is that there isn't a magic one size fits all platform or formula that you can follow to achieve your vibrant vision. This is your vision. And this is really what I wanted to do when I became a coach. After I figured out, I don't have to follow someone else's formula to get the results I want, I decided that I wasn't going to have a formula for success. I do have a program that my clients follow, but I don't say, if you don't follow my formula, you're never going to be successful. Because let's face it, there's a whole lot of ways to be successful. So basically what I'm saying is, let go of the idea that you have to follow someone else's path if you want to be successful, because that's not true. The next thing I want you to remember is that you can embrace your uniqueness. All your flaws and faults and failures, you can embrace them because they are what made you who you are. Because you are uniquely created to do exactly what God has called you to do in this season. Because you are called to fulfill His purposes for your life. And we serve an all-powerful God. And God is saying, hey, I created you to do this thing in my time. And my pastor was talking about provision this Sunday, and he said, God always provides for what He purposes. And so you have everything you need to do what God has called you to do. You are uniquely qualified. And I know my generation gets a bad rap for thinking we are special snowflakes, but science says that's more reality than egocentrism. And let me explain. So according to Gallup, the good folks that make the Clifton Strengths Assessment, which is something that I use with my clients because it helps them understand how they are uniquely gifted for what God has called them to do, and to lean into that and to capitalize on how they are created. So these people who created the Clifton Strengths Assessment says that there's a 1 in 3 million chance that someone is going to have the same top 5 strengths as you in the order that they appear. 1 in 3 million. You are not 1 in a million. You are 1 in 3 million. But you have those strengths, those talents, those abilities, gifts, values, experiences, personality. You have all of this so that you can do what you are called to do. You are uniquely qualified. Embrace it with arms open wide, because you are someone who is a special snowflake, created for that purpose that you have on your heart right now. And if you want help discovering what makes you uniquely qualified to do the things that you know you're called to do, just book a call with me. We'll make sure that calendar link is in the show notes for you. And finally, I want you to change the reason you watch other people's journey. Because we always watch other people's journey through the eyes of, we're scrolling for entertainment. And once in a while, we get like a motivational quote or something, and it's like, that's so inspiring. But most of the time, we're watching somebody else's journey because we want to be entertained, or because we want to see how it's done so that we can follow exactly what they're doing. But what if you were just inspired, and said, wow, I love her Instagram. I want mine to look like this. I want to take these aspects from hers, his, and hers, but I want mine to look like I want mine to look. Or what if we said, wow, I love his story. His story is similar to mine, but we have different aspects. What if we were to collaborate? What if we were to say, wow, you know what? I want to use both of our hard-fought wisdom and bring both of our experiences to the table. And yes, you can get ideas about what you want to do from others. But the way you walk it out, the way you live out your vibrant vision should be and can be your own. And keep in mind, your journey is not their journey. And your journey is just as fantastic, just as valid, just as impactful as their journey. Because you have just as much meaning that you're supposed to create. So it's really time to escape the compare snare. Escape it. Don't get caught in it anymore. If you feel yourself getting caught in it, stop looking at that social media channel. Go do something that is uniquely you, because that compare snare, that's not the way they're doing it. It's killing your confidence. And it's killing your creativity too, because trying to follow someone else's path stunts your creativity. I want you to feel confident that you can follow a path to success that is your own, that is uniquely you, because you are uniquely created. Your strengths, your talents, your gifts, your abilities, whatever you've been given, your experiences are just what you need. And I know that that's hard to embrace sometimes. I have clients who are like, you don't know my story. Not yet, but I want to. I want to know your story. I want to know who you are. I want to know what you do, how you've been created, because I know that those experiences are what make you who you are. So if you've enjoyed this episode, if this episode has been helpful to you, would you do me a favor? Would you leave a review wherever you get your podcast? It helps me reach other people, and it also helps me improve. So I really appreciate you coming to listen today. I want to encourage you, just as we wrap up, that you have everything you need right now. In this season, if you are called to something, you have everything you need to achieve your vibrant vision. So go out there and do it. Do your own thing, because you're made for this. I'll see you next week with another episode on confidence killers. And until then, live out your vibrant vision.